Happy Thursday. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBit Solutions here with a super quick market update. Again, wanted to talk about the overall progress and some of the updates that we've received for the overall market. NASDAQ ended up losing 1.73%, not the lowest point. It's actually gapping up right now during the overnight hours. You guys let me know down in the comment section. Do you think that it's going to find support again at 700, which is a common support range, and or go back up, begin to recover? So this is where you possibly want to buy the dip, right? And because you're bullish. And if you think that markets are going to return back to 735, 740, which is a common resistance range. It's very interesting because from where we started the week, right, markets began to celebrate the end of the attacks with Iran when we weren't attacking them on Friday, yet didn't really understand what they were celebrating, to just correct themselves for the last 2 days. We are literally almost at the same exact point from where we started to now where we ended. Nonetheless, a lot of volatility. There was a lot of money to be made for those that locked in profits, right? Just like we talked about it within our LPP live trading session. Again, friendly reminder, if you ever want to tune into those live sessions, second link down below. Now, the big question that a lot of people are asking is, with 1.3 trillion, over $1 trillion, everyone has a different number, $1.3 trillion right from the US market today. I don't really care about that. My thing is the semiconductors. Semiconductor stocks are down. SanDisk is down. Micron is down. Western Digital is down. These are the companies that are some of the top performers for 2026. So I'm beginning to ask myself, hey, do I want to buy the dip? I've wanted to invest into Micron, into SanDisk, but is the hype over? Is the rally over? Is this just a correction that I want to jump into? And that's, again, what we kind of began asking ourselves. But then now it's trading below $1,000 per share. So now we're doing something we have not done since the initial rally back in April. And there's concern there, right? That's the scary part. That's the fear. Now, again, if you have full conviction, you're like, no, markets are only going to recover, then it makes sense why you're buying into this dip, right? Because if you look at Micron from current lows, if it goes back to previous highs, 1,300, right? Whenever it is that it hit that. I think it was after market hours. That's over 31%. That'd be insane, right? It's one of the best performers. It's often more bullish than bearish. Are markets only going to continue to push higher? Or is there more downside to come, right? Is a correction long overdue for semiconductors? There's no right or wrong because, like I said, you can't predict the future, neither can I. All we can do is, if we see the opportunity to be attractive enough, to lay out our plan, right? Where's our entry? Where do we cut losses? Where do we plan to take profits? What's our point here? But I really wanted to have this conversation where over the weekend, it's one of my favorite videos to film now. I wanted to dive deeper into these semiconductor stocks, break it down, the concerns, but also the highlights, the pros on maybe why I do want to buy the dip, or maybe something is changing, the sentiment. This is the second day in a row. Did you guys see it? That Trump tries to pump Micron. And as soon as he sends out the tweet, it sells off even harder. The second day in a row. He talks about his Trump accounts, how Micron company technology invested over $250 million and how it's a great American company, but also then disclosed that he sold $500,000 or up to $500,000 worth of Micron. It's like, what? How are you calling it a great company, but then finally disclosing that you've actually sold? Nonetheless, it looks like really sentiment has changed so far. But we all know it all takes one powerful tweet from Trump to really turn things around. And that's what I want to prepare for. Hey, if markets do bounce here, right? Just like we talked about on the 4-hour time frame, if we look at it, markets have been trading sideways for the past few weeks. As long as markets hold above 700, this is a common support range. So if markets do begin to recover, then it's likely, not needed, but likely for Micron to recover as well. And that's where it can be exciting to go long. But if markets do break support after so much consolidation and begin to gap down, right? Markets are overbought. They're testing the EMA again. And if they break the support, we have a long correction to follow. So why would I want to buy Micron at nearly $1,000 when I can possibly get it at 600 to 700, right? Because we all know that if overall markets begin to sell off, then it's the ones that rallied up the highest and the quickest that correct the hardest. Now, I'm not saying that Micron is overvalued, because fundamentally speaking, that just simply would not be true if you actually look at it, which is why I wanted to dive into it deeper. As long as you guys are okay with it, we can film that video over the weekend, talk about it, the pros, the cons, the fundamentals, the technicals, and then really kind of like just prepare, create a plan of action of like, hey, if Micron does sell off enough, maybe it does become attractive enough that I want to invest in it long term. But what exactly am I investing into? And that's what we'll talk about this weekend, right? Or maybe we're going to be too late, right? Markets are obviously closed. Now it's extended hours, and then it's a 3-day weekend in observance to 4th of July. So we'll see if Trump sends out a tweet, markets celebrate, and then we see a huge gap up, or if any further developments happen. I just found that to be quite interesting. Also wanted to let you guys know that $4.7 trillion JP Morgan warns Michael Saylor's strategy is creating new risk for the Bitcoin market. Again, just wanted to share that with you. Obviously, Bitcoin is actually up today while overall markets are in the red. I found that to be quite interesting. So MSTR also had an amazing performing day. It ended 7.9% in the green after being up 12%. I think it was 12% yesterday. So a great performing 2-day streak. Let's see how long it can sustain that before it starts crashing all over again. Again, I'm not a fan of MicroStrategy, but if you are, I say talk is cheap, put your money where your mouth is, right? I think MicroStrategy has obviously proven to be one of the worst investments in the past 2 to 3 years you ever could have made. The only people that made money are those that sold and didn't bag hold on the way down, right? With that being said, again, I'm very excited to see what's to follow up with this week. NASDAQ market trying to creep up higher. We'll see if it could sustain itself with, I'm sure, all the updates that we'll get over the weekend. I'll do my part in keeping you guys up to date. I do want to remind you, again, whenever it is that you're ready to join us for these live sessions every day at Market Open, you can tune on in. Second link down below. Hope and wish you guys an amazing 4th of July weekend. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.